Girl, I heard Pillow Talk Houston got a new show.
Oh, I can't wait.
It's something different. Houston ain't
I
doing
heard
it. She got performances. She got the celebrity
They
gossip.
can't fuck with it on their
She
birthday.
got games. She got all kind of shit. She gonna have chefs cooking on there. It's gonna be a little bit of everything.
Oh, it's going down.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk About It. So today we about to hear nothing but the truth, as I have the host and founder of Nothing But the Truth podcast.
Yes, ma'am.
So how you doing? How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Stupendous is my favorite word. I'm feeling stupendous, man. No complaints. How about you?
I'm fabulous. I can't complain at all. God is good. God is
Okay.
good. Okay, so you are down here in Houston. So are you living here now?
Yeah, I live here now, yup.
Okay, and then where were you before?
Philadelphia.
Philly. Okay, so what brings you to Houston?
Opportunities. Success is normal here. Where I come from, there's a dark cloud over the city, a lot of death, a lot of hating, a lot of opium use. And I just wanted it, I wanted it to be normal for me to be young, to be black, be successful, to have money, and not have to worry about having my life took or taken a life, for sure.
Okay, and that's what I want to get into. So tell me, what was it like and feeling like growing up with you?
Mother was on drugs, crack addicted mother. So that was always rough because, you know, you going to school, people know your mom, getting high, fought a lot. But my grandma was sturdy though. My grandma had me since I was 2 days old, you know what I'm saying? But she would always, whenever my mom would get clean, she would always try to, you know, she wanted that relationship to be a thing. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, it really wasn't. But anytime I would go with her, it was a lot of dysfunction, watching domestic violence, stepdad was abusive. It just was a whole bunch. But other than that, though, honestly, my upbringing was all right. My grandma was sturdy, provider, great guardian, strict for sure, as most grandmothers are. But other than that, my upbringing really wasn't too bad. I would say probably like around 13, I started going to prison. Well, jail. I don't even think they call it prison for kids. Group home.
No.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. I started going to the detention centers is what they call it. Yeah, I wasn't going to prison at 13, yeah. Yeah, they probably should have. I was bad as shit, but yeah.
What was you doing?
Everything. The first time I went to prison, I was 13. I caught with a pound of weed. Back then, we had a weed called Hydro. Yeah, the kids, they call it whatever. They got trash now. We had Dro back in the day. And I had hit it. And I just read up. I had bought a pound of weed, and I didn't think my grandma was coming home. As soon as she did, I guess I was too high. I fell asleep, but I had the pound of weed on my chest. So when I wake up, she slapped the shit out of me. So when I look up, I'm like, she got my weed. She's like, nigga, you going to jail. So me and shit, I leave. I run out the front door and shit. I probably come back like around like 12 o'clock. I sneak through the garage, get back in the house. So I should have knew something was up because she ain't come downstairs and beat me up. Like, so I'm thinking I'm good. I'm like, maybe she cooled out. I've been going like 10 hours. So I hear a knock on the door. But when I go to open the door, there's nobody there, so it makes me open the door. When I open the door, the cop come from the side, like, yeah, come on, book me. They lock me up. They send me to the detention center. I was supposed to do like 90 days or something, but one of the guards was like picking on a friend of mine. So we jumped him, and they had like these wooden chessboards or whatever, like, and we kept smacking him. So then they sent me to St. Clarinda, Iowa, so they shipped us all out to different facilities, yeah. And so I stayed there till I was 15. And they wanted to give me they actually wanted me to stay. So I had a decision. I could have stayed there because I was like, I played football real good. So I could have like actually stayed there. They would have like sent me to college, scholarship and all of that, but I would have had to remain incarcerated until I was 18 in order to do it, and I wasn't going for none of that shit.
So are you the only child?
No. I got 4 brothers and 2 sisters. I'm lying. 3 brothers, 6 of us. 3 brothers and 2 sisters, yeah.
So are you the youngest?
Second to the oldest.
Okay.
Yeah, the special one.
So y'all didn't all grow up together then? Y'all was separated?
No. My grandma had all of us. Yep. Except one of my brothers. I got a Jamaican and black brother. I don't know what my mom was thinking about. He's actually 1 year younger than me. He's actually 1 year younger than me, my little brother Dominic. He's the only one that didn't grow up with us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me, like, what was your mental like as you was going through these things? You know, your mother's on drugs, you know, your daddy, you know, domestic violence. Like, what was your mental like in those as a child?
Yeah, I think that you just look at it like life. Like, that was just my life. Like, I didn't know anything else. So like that was my normal. Like, you know, like certain times like we grow up and shit and you be like roaches and shit is normal. Like what? Like what you jumping for? Mouses and shit, like that's normal shit. Like, oh, everybody don't get slapped by their dad. Like you start to think that shit normal. So like I was conditioned to it. I was kind of programmed to it. You know, my mom gonna be in and out. That was normal. You know what I mean? So even down to my grandmother, like my grandmother was very she was everything that a mother should be except for affectionate, right?
Okay.
And so like my grandmother didn't even tell me she loved me until I was locked up when I was 18. Like that's the first time I got locked up for first degree murder, first degree attempt murder, right? And I call home, right? And I'm tough the whole time because I'm in the interrogation room and shit. And they like, you ain't got nothing to say. I'm like, nah, motherfucker, you know, the whole whatever, right? And they give me my call. And I swear, as soon as I hear my grandma's voice, I book, they got me. And so my grandma, it's funny as shit because my grandma said, she said, you all right? I said, yeah, I'm all right. She said, tighten up, nigga. Tighten up. You gonna be all right. Just tighten up. I'm like, all right. I wiped my motherfucking tears, got my shit together, and I went on ahead. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you was 18 in prison. So what was that like? Like, were you scared?
Honestly, I've been going to jail my whole life. So it wasn't even a scary thing. But now you put me in a prison where, you know, I was accused of first degree murder, first degree attempt murder, where I wasn't in my city. And so now you got dudes that's from there, and I thought I was grown, but I'm a kid. I'm 18. Like I'm a kid now. As a grown ass man, I was a kid, and so they throw you in there with men 40 years old, and the dude that passed away, and the other dude, they was like 35 or something like that at that time. So you know, all their friends and homies was, you know, they in there, you know, and so. It was one of those things where when you get put in a situation like that, it'll either make you or break you, right? Mm-hmm. And with me, I've always kind of been up to the challenge, right? And it's so crazy. I'll be all the way transparent. I got into a fight with a dude, and his knuckle had like scratched my like cornea, and I couldn't see. And he was a little nigga. The punches didn't hurt or nothing, but I couldn't fucking see. So I never forget this shit. Me and my older brother never got along, but I was going to a visit one day, and my brother was going to a visit, my older brother, and he just looked at me. He said, don't ever let me hear no shit like that.
In the same...
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But I was there for whatever. And my brother was like, don't ever let me hear no shit like that again. And mind you, I've never got along with my brother, but it was just something about him saying that shit.
Like you ain't.
It made me snap,
right.
And so when I went back, just became ultra aggressive, like I don't know,
like y'all can get.
Yeah,
like,
I just became, and then so they wound up telling me that I was too aggressive. You know what I'm saying? Like nigga, like yo, you gotta chill. They're gonna ship you out. Like you just, and it's a long story. We'd be here for days if that whole the prison story is the funniest shit ever. But yeah. So that's that.
Okay, so how long did you do when you was in prison?
What time? I've been going my whole life. Like literally my whole, like February 25th, which was 2 days ago, was the longest. I just marked 3 years. It's the longest I've ever been out of prison.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so what was the pivotal point? Like, what made you say, okay, I'm not going back?
My mom died when I was in prison. Yeah, my mom died when I was in prison.
Did get the...
that pissed me off. Like, because I told you, she got high my whole life until I probably was about 27. And so, like, she got her shit together. Like, my mom was like my best. She was like a sister to me. She was never a mother. You know what I mean? So, right when we got cool, it felt like I was robbed. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, like, you my nigga. Like, how the fuck? You know what I mean? And she fucking died. She had wrote me a letter, because I'm lying. She wrote me an email. You can email in the feds. I was in the feds this time.
Okay.
And she wrote me an email, and she was like, my beautiful one coming home. You'll be home this year. This is the year. I'm going to be at the gate to pick you up. Blah, 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 blah. January 1st. January 5th, my sister texted my phone and shit and was like, Mommy died. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, there's no way. You know what I mean? I'm like, what? So you know what I mean? So I put my phone up and shit. I run to the jail joint. I call. She's like, no, she really died. So I'm like, fuck. This at like 6 o'clock in the morning. So I'm going. I kind of force myself to go through the whole day regular because there's no signs of weakness here. You know what I mean? And literally, man, I went through the whole day, played cards, gambled, worked out, all of that. Then I got a shower by like about 11 o'clock. And I just looked up, the water coming down. I let like 2 tears out. Like, nigga, tighten up, nigga. You know what I mean? Walked out that shit and just left it right there.
So they didn't, like, because, sometimes they do let you out for your...
I'm a violent person. Well, I'm not a violent person. Let me... And I have an escape history as well. And so I can't...
So you weren't playing. Well, wait a minute. Okay. What was making you like? Were you trying to like do stuff to survive, or were you just like doing shit? Like what what made you do all the stuff that you was doing? Like, was you going through something? Like
Survival. I think that like it was 6 of us. My grandma had 1 kid, which is my mom.
okay.
I think that you get to a certain age where you don't want to wear glittery Tupac t-shirts to school. Like my grandma buying us glittery Tupac shirts and you know, she tried to do the best that she could, but I think that as a young man, like who wants to watch the person that they love the most suffer? You know what I mean? And my brother wasn't built like me. You know what I mean? And my other brothers one was gone and the other one, he was too young to even compute. And I felt like, I think that the street embraces outcast, right? Because I was always different. I always had a gift of gab. I always had a way of words. I wasn't even a violent kid. Like that's the crazy part. I was more of like a passive aggressive person. Prison made me ultra violent. Like prison made me ultra aggressive. Yeah, because I didn't have a choice. They threw me in there with wood. They threw me in there with grown men.
Right.
And I was accused of some things, and niggas wanted to come see me about that. And
they gonna teach you.
And you know, and so I had to become hyper aggressive because that's just either you gonna swim or you gonna drown. But no, I don't ever think that it was me. I wasn't like lashing out. My grandma loved me. My grandma provided us with a roof. I could have been anything that I wanted to be in life. I chose the life that I lived. You know, you start getting the money, that becomes addictive. You start getting the girls. I always had the girls. I had curly hair and shit, but that becomes addictive. And then, you know, you start playing with them pistols, man. That's power. That's power, you know, to know, like, I'll take you up out of here. You know what I mean? Like, and nigga, like, yeah, like, and it's just, it's a high. And you get so, I'm getting goosebumps now thinking about it because you get so, like, you know, like locked in it. And that's all you know. And so when you continuously go to prison, you're coming home trying to get back on that false throne. You know what I mean? Because it's all poverty. You know, I literally had good girlfriends that would beg me, leave the drugs alone, and I would go with the ones that was feeding my demons. Nigga, get this money. I'm your Bonnie. And like, and so, yeah. But no, I wasn't, it was nothing that, I can't say that my upbringing pushed me into the streets, really. Okay. I wanted to be out there. I was like everybody else. I think, what's that? It's like I don't even know if it's a mermaid. I can't even think what they call it, but like it sings a song to you. It like lures you to it. I can't even think of what the name is of it at this moment. But the streets is like that. The streets is seducing. What are they? Because you go from nothing. You go from no identity. You go from no name to like, no, that's
money, having
you know what I mean? And I'm gonna be honest, it's so funny. I used to tell people, I would have sold drugs for free. I just loved finally being able to fit in somewhere. Like I love like the streets was me. Like I could be, the badder I was, the better I was. And it was like, it was no rules and I could make my own as I went. And it was just, I fell in love with that shit.
Okay, so your mother died, you got out, and then what did you do when you got out?
Went to the halfway house. I was going to be a personal trainer. So I had a clothing brand called Physically Rich, right? Because if health is wealth, then I'm physically rich. It was a whole thing, right? Okay. So I'm selling sweatshirts. I was always a hustler. But I just realized I had to switch it up. I couldn't go back to jail. Like that was like embedded in me, right?
Still in Philly, right?
They got me in Delaware now. I'm in Delaware, okay. But it's right there. Same difference, right? And I'm selling sweatshirts. I'm selling hoodies. I'm selling t-shirts out the window, like other fucking halfway house. And niggas knew me, so niggas is pulling up. Oh, True Home. They call me Fuge. That's fugitive. Trigger finger Fuge at that. But they like, oh, Fuge home. So niggas is pulling up, and I started selling them. And so once I got out, I got into the personal training thing. And that was cool. And I'm talking about, I'm walking around, I would print out 500 flyers, and that was like my goal every day. I just would walk any park, and I knew I looked away, so I'm running down on the chick shirt off. Hey, you know, I'm a hustler, you know what I mean? That was like, okay, but I knew I needed more, right? Because I'm like, this ain't shaking. And I was in a relationship with a chick when I had came home, and that relationship went sour because she tried to like put me in a box. And she didn't know that like somebody like me, you can't box me. Like my whole life, I've dealt with adversity. My whole life, people have tried to tell me what I wasn't or what I couldn't, and I've always proved them wrong. Nigga, I used to be 400 pounds. So like nigga told me I wouldn't get in shape. I came home with a 6-pack. I grew up poor. I made myself rich. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm just one of them like, what? You don't believe me?
I said, wow, I remember that video you
showed. Yeah, I was big as shit.
I wanted you to talk about that video too.
Yeah, it was huge. You know what I'm saying? Big dude.
That big, not 400 pounds.
Shit, nigga, I'll show you 400. Let me see. Hold on. I'm going to show you 400. Hold on. real quick. I was huge, man. I'm talking about like.
So did you start losing the weight like once you got incarcerated?
Yes.
Okay.
I had to survive.
Yeah.
I got in shape to like go at niggas. Like I got in like tip top shape because I was going smack at niggas. Like it was no, yeah. That's why. Like people like, oh, your body was nice, and I was like, that shit was for survival. That shit wasn't for
like be out here looking.
Yeah, it wasn't for that. Like it wasn't for that. I was it's so crazy. I was going to a visit one day, and I'm going to the yard, and it was this dude. He got physical like I got physical in the street. Hold up.
Bears, even sharks outside. You gotta watch with the eyes of a hawk outside. Who is open, they drink
like 365 right there.
Really?
Yeah.
Spark outside, the money man, 100 grand. Outside my block.
I got a stomach on top of a stomach on top of a stomach. That's. But anyway, so long. So
you just gonna skip past.
Yeah.
Okay.
So long story short, though, damn, I was going to a visit, and this dude I was beefing with from the street. The nigga took his shirt off and was like, I'm gonna see you when we get back. And I'm like, God damn, the shit was right. So I come back from the visit, I tell my man, I said, yo, show me how to work out, bro. Show me how to work out right now and shit, right? I never forget this shit. But mind you, I'm 365, so I had size, you know what I'm saying? But when you don't know anything about working out and know anything about muscles, a nigga that like, you know what I'm saying, you like, man, what the fuck is that? Now this nigga couldn't have been nothing but $170, but $170 when
you're solid.
Yeah, it looked like something. You know what I'm saying? So I remember working out. I ain't seen a nigga for like 6 months. So it was the wintertime when I seen him, but now it was the summertime. They having a softball game. So I'm running across the field, full speed, take my shirt off and shower when I said, what's up, nigga? What's going on? He like, oh, Assalamu alaikum. I got my shit up. Yeah, I got my shit up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's crazy. He just, and me and that nigga tried to kill each other so many times. We wound up being friends. That's the crazy part. Like I had seen him at the casino one night. I got a little bitty in there with me and shit. I told you, they're way older than me. So I see him and shit, like he get up a little slow. I said, you getting old, nigga. If it was back in the day, nigga, you can't move like you used to. Now to twist you in this joint. But then I came home like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you feel me?
Solid.
You see what I'm saying? But that's like 210, but that's my shit, like, you know what I mean?
That's
so
solid.
a monster. So like that's like that way, yeah, like I came home on some shit, you know what I mean? So yeah. Any other questions? That's me from in prison. Yeah, I was there crushing them niggas though. They know what's up. Like, but that's a whole nother lifestyle though.
Right.
That's why even with bro, like the situation, and that's whatever, but he triggered me because I didn't know what, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, do I hurt the, like, you know what I mean? And he was like, he didn't even know, like, he had my mind, like, in overdrive because I'm like, fuck, like, I'm trying to be professional, but I'm like, nigga, like, he stressed me out bad because I would have crushed him, you know what I mean? And it's like, damn, like, do I, you know what I mean? I'm on federal probation right now as we speak. Like, you feel what I'm saying? So it's just like, I don't know, but that's why I miss so much for me to be here, because I'm like, I don't play that like that, playing with women. I hate that shit. I watched my mom get shot in front of me when I was 6. You dig what I'm saying? So like for me, that's like, I don't know if you heard me when I was telling you, my stepdad was a big dude, and he was a Golden Glove boxer in the Navy. Mm-hmm. And used to fight my mom. Now my mom, one thing about I'm not gonna say my mom didn't warrant some of these ass whoopings. My mom was a motherfucker. My mom was a motherfucker. Like, and so you'll get people that like try to like, make everything one-sided. My mom was doing some foul shit. And I'm gonna keep it 100. Where I come from, certain things warrant you getting your ass whipped. Man, dog, cat, whoever, whatever. My mom was doing some foul shit, like shit that's punishable by death where I come from. Yeah, my mom was because my mom is drop dead gorgeous, like beautiful. My mom was fly. My mom was one of the best boosters in Philly. Like my mom throw that shit on. And so her husband was the nigga, how I always say that, like, you got the nigga that you make rules for, you got niggas that you break rules for. Mm. He was the stability. Like, that wasn't her type of nigga, but, you know, she done had 2 kids now, got to slow down, so he was the stability. Truck driver, he was the square nigga.
Gotcha.
You dig what I'm saying? But my mom played with them niggas, you know what I'm saying? So it was one of them where he knew it, and you like what you like. That's why I always tell women, like, when you out here dating these men, man, don't fake the funk because you like what you like. Like, and not me, let me just put it.
But sometimes what you like is wrong.
I get that, but you like what you like. Let me, if you smoke weed, and I always tell people, like, people don't change for people that they like. People put masks on for the people that they like. I'm a gambler. I listen, could stay in the casino I done had cars repossessed from the casino, nigga. And they're asleep, waking up like gamble, right? And it's just so funny because my wife, when I met my wife, I knew that I had to stop. I never wanted. I know that you know how they say like drugs are gateway drugs. Well, gambling is like the gateway for crime for me because I'm not a small time gambler. I'm a nigga going there 30, 40, 50, 60,000. Like I go gamble. You know what I mean? But I know that that's a trigger because if you lose 60,000, realistically, where you about to get that back from? You about to go work some shifts? Nah, we gonna go ahead and get to it, and something got to shake. You know what I mean? But when I met my wife, I had like put a pinky toe out there playing with it a little bit, and I remember one day she was like, my wife's so soft spoken. She was like, "What's this?" And I was so ashamed, right? Because like I know she looked at me up here, and I felt like a junkie at that point because I don't do drugs, so I don't smoke, don't drink, or any of that. Probably when I was like 13, last time I smoked anyway for the weed shit. And I seen a lot of niggas get killed. I come up from like the syrup and Xanax period. I don't know if y'all was doing. Matter of fact, y'all do drink down here. We're in fucking H-Town. Yeah. But yeah, so but we had, y'all fuck with the purple shit. See, up my way, we had some shit called snot. This the yellow pro meth. Y'all was hip to that?
Okay. They had that down
here. Nigga. Yeah.
It tastes good.
But nigga, that shit nigga zooted and booted. So we call it syrup and pancakes up my way. You know what I'm saying? Cause you throw the Xannies in there, you shake him, then niggas start throwing the yerk shit with that's all. But anyway, not me. Like I said, but you got like that was the thing to do. Like you know what I mean, growing up, and so I seen a lot of niggas die high like that. You know what I mean? And I just used to tell myself,
that's some $2.
Yeah, man. I just
gonna take you.
Man, let me tell you something. My young boy, right? This nigga, I used to be a little fake drug kingpin. I had an operation out Lancaster, PA, and shit, right? And I always tell this story. So my man, I was like, yo, take these. They was 2 footballs if you know about the Zans. I don't do drugs. I mean this shit. So he give them to me. I'm like, all right, fine. So I'm not thinking nothing of it. All I remember is I wanted to go do my laundry. So I'm at a laundromat. I had a Lincoln Town car, the Signature Series. This is back in 2006. Getting money, I was fucking them up. I go in there. That's all I remember. I wake up, I guess, I don't know, 9, 10 hours later. So I pat my pockets, the wham's still there, all my money in my pocket. You know what I mean? My bracelet is gone, a diamond bracelet on, my bracelet is gone, but I'm not even skitzing about that. So I jump up. My bag of clothes is still there. I never washed the clothes. I fell asleep on a folding table in the laundromat. But when I go outside, my car gone. Nigga done took my car. But fuck the car. I'm not mad about the car neither. But my Air Bacons was in there. These Nikes. I'm a sneaker junkie, right? The Air Bacons, they was the shit back then. Anyway, long story short, funny story. You getting everything tonight. I don't get to tell nobody none of this shit, right? The nigga, I'm on my way to Philly to go get another car, right? And so I see a white, my car, go by me. There's a song by John Legend called Heaven Only Knows, right? Nigga bumping in my joint, Heaven Only Knows. Nigga bumping in my shit. Man, listen, we followed the nigga for about like 30 minutes. So right before he getting ready to get on the highway, I asked my man, I'm like, yo, we ain't even got no fucking guns. Like, man, fuck that. I pull in front of him. When I pull in front of him, my young boy jump out. Like the window probably was like cracked. My young boy punched through the window. Boom, open the door. I was kicking this nigga so hard, my fucking toenails fell out. But anyway, I got my car back. But yeah, I don't even mean to go into these stories, but she ain't taking me back. But my fault. But yes, go ahead. I'm sorry.
How you gonna go in and stop?
Because you taking me back.
Shit though,
but I got my car back.
Because we invested now.
Yes. I got my car back. And let me say this, I'm not a violent person. I've never in life done anything to anybody that didn't warrant that shit. Like, and that's just real. Like, even like when I know I don't even talk about the murder cases and shit like that. Like, even when I went to trial, and I'm not guilty, because the white man said I wasn't, and I'm not guilty. And the white man said that, so you know it's real. I remember vividly, right? They offered me a plea for 36 to 52 years, right? And I was going to take it. Because I was so delusional at that point in my life. I was 18. I'm like, fuck it, I done fucked enough bitches. I live, nigga. You just be so brain. I did it, not knowing that, like, as a man, like, I didn't do shit, like, but, and it's so funny. I talk about my grandma. My grandma was my superhero. And I was going to take it. I called home like, grandma, they said 36, 52. I'm going to just eat that joint. Because my grandfather to this day has been locked up 56 years. So, like, that's just in our family. My older brother, the one I was just on the phone with, he's locked up for a double homicide right now. Like, you feel what I'm saying? So, like, that's just, it's just normal for us. Like that's like you know, I remember we talking about what's normal. Like that's
Right.
and so I remember calling home because my public defender, he was like, he said, listen, he said, you can be 50 years old and you could be coming home, or you could be 60 years old and be like, I could have been home 10 years ago. And so I played with that thought because you 18, you like, all right, 50, boom, I'm gonna work out. Like you really try. Well, me,
you
I tricked myself into processing that shit. And when I remember my grandma came to a visit and shit, that was my baby. She's still alive. She comes to the visit and shit. That's my baby. That's my head. So she so I said, Grandma, I was excited for the 52 years. Like I'm like, man, Grandma, you said well, a good time I can get 36. I'm taking it. She said, motherfucker, who the fuck you think gonna be alive? she said, nigga, who do you think gonna be alive in 36 years? Who do you think is gonna be alive in 36 years? She said, nigga, I'm 50 now. Or whatever, some age now. Said your mom would be dead, your grandma would be dead, I'll be dead, said your daughter would be XYZ. What the fuck is you talking about, boy? She said, let me tell you this, if you take the time, I'm gonna fuck you up. And that's why I didn't take the time. My grandma threatened me that she was gonna fuck me up. And I wasn't even thinking at the time, you can't get in here and fuck me up.
Right.
It meant that much to me that she was gonna fuck me up. And I went to trial. Not guilty. Not guilty. It's so crazy when they say this shit, right? My mind didn't register it, but my body reacted. So like they're saying not guilty. My lawyer grabbed him. I stood up. I shot up. My lawyer, she like sit down. I didn't even know I'd stood up. Like it just, but yeah, that's a whole nother, yeah.
So you have a daughter?
Yes, Kobe Amaya.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so at what point did you say I'm gonna start a podcast?
It just seemed like the right thing to do. You know, I got famous. Well, I'm famous now, but I got like lit off of one post. I think I was telling you, I was in Miami. Mm-hmm. My wife, that's my wife now. She wasn't my wife then though, but we was in Miami. I was going to get something to drink from the bar, literally, and I was coming off the elevator and just talking shit, running this fucking raggedy ass mouth of mine. And I literally didn't think nothing of it. I made the video. I don't even know why I posted it, but I posted it through the phone. And I didn't even have a following. I literally was like, a lot of y'all be taking these women for granted as if it's not a nigga in the bushes waiting to take your spot. Like it's some good women out here. And these niggas want, there's some nigga like, cause I know it's really men out here that'll wait a lifetime. They don't care how many kids you have. They always loved you and they'll love you. And they sick that somebody else got you. Cause I know what that feel like. And I put the post up, threw my phone down, and I woke up the next morning and the video was viral. It had like 100,000 views. And so I went from like 200 followers to like 7,000. And I'm like, hold the fuck up. And this time I'm working. You know what I mean? I'm working at a battery company. I'm getting my life together. You know what I mean? And so now I'm just going to work every day saying some little funny shit before I go on to work. And I ain't thinking much of it. Then the shit went to 15K. Then it went to 25K. And I kept telling myself, I'm like, shit, if we could just get to 50K, like I'm cool. Like, I'm like, shit. And then shit hit 50. And then shit hit 90. And then, you know, just me being who I am and business minded, I was like, I got something. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I've always felt like, so I always wanted to be a rapper. So as you heard that video, I was one of the best rappers probably in the world. I was like good at it. Poetry, all of that. Like I've been reading and writing on the college level since the 6th grade. So it was like hyper intelligent as well. So that's why I got in a lot of trouble as all, because I think I know it all. Like you can't tell me I don't, but I can literally have a conversation with you from anything from pistols to politics, right? Literally. And my ability, I call it, well, when I rapped, I used to call it, a lyrical vulnerability. It is what Tupac possessed. So that's why, even though Tupac exemplified everything that was like supposed to be wrong in the world, he could also make a song like Brenda Has a Baby, and you be like, or Gotta Keep Your Head Up, and you like, damn, like that shit like heartfelt, and it's lyrical vulnerability. He's able to capture you and make you, like, he's able to be vulnerable on record. And some of the most attractive men in the world are ones that are not afraid to be vulnerable. Cause that shit, like, it shows you, like, I went past being a man at this point, like I'm a human. You know what I mean? Did that make sense?
Yes, it do.
You feel what I'm saying?
Men should be able to do that though. Because, you know, a lot of times the women, not just necessarily women, but people be like, you know, you're not supposed to, you're a man, you can't show your emotion and stuff like that. No, I think you should.
That shit is false. And when you come from where I come from, every killer that I know, not even killer, but just macho men, They the nicest, sweetest dudes you've ever met in your life. I swear to God, laugh all day. All the killers I know, and I hate that topic because I'm not a real nigga. I'm not none of that. I hate those terms. I've broken out of that poverty mindset. But all the killers I know, like the real gangsters, these are the most loving, giving people. First of all, they laugh all day because they take life as a joke. They take your life as a joke. Everything is funny. You just know not to get on that other side of them. I'm telling you. So all the dudes walking around, you're faking. You're fraud. We know.